If you've ever been through a hailstorm in an RV, you know it can break out the vents on top. That's what happened here. So I made a temporary patch with some cardboard and some Gorilla Tape. We're going to take that off, put that vent on, and then inside these big honking boxes, I got some Maxxair covers. Those go over the top of your roll-up vents so that you can leave those open to keep the air circulated in the RV. And even if it's raining, you can supposedly keep these open. So let's go and get started on this. First thing we're going to need to do is get all of the Gorilla Tape and cardboard off of here. You don't need to see that, so I'll be right back. This is the one I picked up, and it comes with all of the hardware that you need: nuts, bolts, attachment hardware, and it comes with a little instruction set. Okay, I've got all of this assembled, and when you slide this into the hinge, there's a couple of tabs on here that you bend in to keep it from sliding all the way through. I've already got this one bent down. Now, this is the mechanism that runs this up and down. I took it out just so you could see it. I'm going to go inside and put this back in, but this lets the door close. This doesn't go far enough back to put this in the tab when everything's assembled. So you have to do this in 2 stages, and this will go back in. It'll come in from the bottom, and then you have a lot of leeway to get it lined up in that little hole. So let's stick this through the hinge. So you hear it make a positive stop at the other end. I'm going to bend this tab in. Now it won't slide back off. I'm going to close this. I'm going to go inside, put this piece back on. Now we're back on the inside. I should go get a step ladder to do this, but I don't have one handy. So this just goes back through this hole, and that lets you get it to the angle that it needs to be. And I'm going to actually close this some, make it easier for me to balance and do all of this from down here without a step ladder. Screw goes back into here. The other one goes on this side. Now all you have to do, put the cover back on, put all the rest of the pieces back on. I just want to illustrate that it works. So that's it. I'll put the rest of this stuff back together, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Everything's buttoned back up. For whatever reason, this is indexed. You got 1 screw here, 1 here, 1 here, and 2 here. So this only goes back one way on my RV. May be different on yours. Now we have a functioning vent. Okay, so that wasn't so difficult. I'm going to put the covers on there, but I'm going to let the sun get on the other side of the house. And I have a confession to make. I don't stretch as well as I used to, so I had to go cheat and get a step ladder. You know, I'm old and stubborn, but when my back quits, it quits. For those of you that don't know, I fell 25 feet out of a tree a couple years ago, broke 4 vertebrae in my back. So if I can get up here and do this, you can get up here and do this. Okay, just so you can see, you need to open your vent. I don't think it said that in the instructions, but I'll show you. This is as far as it'll go forward with my vent open. You can just barely see this line right here. Okay, close it. And you can see that goes at least a ½ inch further forward. So if you put it in this position and then install everything, I don't think the vent's going to open properly. So we're going to come back here, and we've got it centered this way. Now what I'm going to do is now mark these holes, then I'll show you the next step. So now all we have to do, move this out of the way. Now we'll line up on this mark. You want to go as far to the edge as you can. So we're going to use this one right here. and you want to go as low down as you can. And I basically centered this slot on the one of the marks here. And we're going to do the same thing on all 4 of these. Now what they recommend is a 3/16 hole. That actually is bigger than these bolts are, but it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. You put your carriage bolt through here first, put the bolt through the bracket, through to the inside, put a flat washer on, then you put a lock washer on, then the nut goes on. The nut is a 9mm on this package, and we're just going to snug that up. All 4 of these go on the same way. Okay, everything's pretty straightforward now. And in case I didn't mention it, these louvers go to the back. We're just going to line this up. And a star washer goes on. Nut, star washer, nut. Same thing on the other side. Those appear that they are 7/16. And if you use a driver, don't go crazy. That's about it. So go to the other side, snug those up. You can expect a small air gap underneath there, and that's by design. If there's any condensation, it runs down the sides, and it's able to get out around your vent instead of going into the RV. So now I can open this, leave it open just a little bit, and in the summertime, some of the hot air can escape, so you shouldn't have the scorching temperatures that you normally would. Those have a screen on them to keep bugs out, and they are louvered, so a moderate amount of rain shouldn't be a problem unless it's a really driving rain from that direction. So I did the front one off screen or off camera, and it took me 15 to 20 minutes, something like that, not having to fidget with the camera and be sure I wasn't in the way and get into awkward positions. So if you're thinking about doing this, if I can do it, you can do it. It's an easy job. 15 to 20 minutes a piece once you get all the stuff up there, and I think you'll be happy with your outcome. It's just gonna let you have a little ventilation anytime you want it, whether it's raining or not. I think that's gonna be a great thing. I'm gonna throw a couple of other videos up here if you want to see some of the other stuff on my channel. I'll either catch you in one of those or I'll catch you down the road.